let's talk to Rosie in Coeur d'Alene. What's up, Rosie?
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. You are on the show.
All right.
All right. So what's up? How can I help?
So, my husband and I decided that I should stay home with our 5-year-old. And I've been doing that since June, and I feel like I suck at it. Like, I feel like a failure. And that's what I want to talk about.
Well, thanks for that softball. Appreciate that, Rosie. So why did y'all, the way you announced that, the way you told me that, was that your husband wanted you to stay at home, and y'all talked about it, and now you're staying at home. Am I wrong there?
We decided together.
Whose idea was it?
I think it was my idea.
Okay, all right. The way you presented that sounded
I feel like I usually have the ideas.
Yes, okay. So, why did you want to stay home?
Well, I wanted to stay home because I used to be able to take my son to work with me when I worked in childcare. And when that business was closing, there just didn't seem like, being in the business, we knew that there was no one that we would trust with our son.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't trust anybody with your son, and so you want to stay at home and be with him. Do you like being around him?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. And so here's the death spiral I just hear professional woman after young mother get involved in. There is no way to win. And if you're at work, you should be at home. Oh my gosh, you just work and leave your kid with somebody all day? And then if you're at home, it is, I don't like my kid all the time. And as soon as I have that thought, like, oh my gosh, will you wipe your own butt crack? Then I feel guilty that I even said that because this is my baby and I'm a terrible mom. Or if I just love wiping butt cracks all day, people are like, are you serious? You just stay at home? Like, what else? What are you contributing? Like, your husband just earns all the, like, seriously? You're not, there's this never ending cycle of guilt. Do you experience any of that?
Not really that. Mostly like, I thought that I think I should be doing better at keeping the house clean. Like, it's just always a mess, and it seems like if I'm home all day, it should be clean. Like, that was my expectation was.
So
when I was working 12 hours a day, it was like, I have no time to clean the house.
Whose story is that?
Now that I'm home all day.
Is it your story or your husband's story?
Mine.
Okay, then, so I'm just going to ask you a simple question. So then, why don't you clean the house?
I don't know. Like, sometimes it seems like we run out of time. Like, we're not just home all day. Like, we go places, and then by the time we get home, it's like time to eat dinner. And then after all that stuff is done and bedtime, then it's just, I don't know, I get tired.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I ask myself is like, why am I not getting this done? Like, I should be able to do it.
Have you made there's so much here. You're living in some pretty hard pictures that you've created for yourself. You've drawn for yourself. You have a picture of what stay-at-home motherhood should look like, and your picture isn't real.
It seems like it for the people I know.
In their curated social media worlds, or...
like I go to their house and it's clean.
Well, maybe. And, yeah, there's two and. One is, you've created a myth. You are not them. You are you. And you're trying to live their story. And you need to articulate what is your story. And number two, there is some discipline involved here.
Yeah.
When you were going to work and you were tired, you still had to show up. You still had to do things at your job you didn't want to do, or you were tired of doing, but that was your job and you were on the clock. And so there is seasons, I guess for every stay-at-home parent, like forever, is yeah, I am exhausted and I got to do laundry again. And it just never stops. And oh, good, there's more dishes in this. They keep coming and they grow in this sink, right? It just never stops. And there's that part too, where you just have to do things that you don't want to do or you're tired of doing. But to me, it feels like there's something deeper than that you thought this was going to be different or easier or simpler or it would just work out and it's not and it's weighing on you. Maybe I'm out to lunch, man. Maybe it's not existential at all. It's just a matter of, dude, yeah.
No, it's all that.
If you want to have a clean house, have a clean house. But all of a sudden you look up and it's 10:30 in the morning. Have you done have you done like an honest assessment of how much time you spend on social media? How much time you spend in front of the TV? How much time you spend emailing folks? Like, have you done an honest time assessment?
I've been trying to.
Not trying to. Have you done an honest time assessment?
Okay. To me, an honest time assessment is I want a minute by minute count of how did I spend my time?
Yeah.
And so I've been looking for how do I track that? Because if I just have a piece of paper, I'm not going to write down every single second. So I've been thinking about it. So no, I haven't actually calculated the times, but
Rosie, can I be honest? There's something else here. What's the other thing?
The other thing is,
what is it that you don't want to say out loud? Say it.
My child has ADHD and ODD.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess just sometimes it's such a war zone all day that it's I guess I just feel like I need to treat myself. I'm so exhausted, I can't do anything else.
You need some help.
Yeah.
Is your home chaotic?
Yeah. Sometimes it's not.
Is your marriage okay?
Yeah. My husband's amazing.
Has your child always struggled with that disconnect? Because ADHD, ODD, those kind of things are generally challenges, not always, but generally challenges with disconnection, with relational challenges.
I thought we had a pretty good connection, all three of us. And then, several months ago, I don't know, almost a year ago, it just seemed like his outrages were just getting more and more extreme. We couldn't connect to him in those moments. Mm-hmm. And so.
Have you taken him to a good play therapist to see what's going on?
No, we haven't found a good one. We found terrible ones. We were on a waiting list for 9 months, and then we finally get there, and it was just kind of a waste of time.
Why was it a waste of time?
Because we just played. We didn't do anything learning skills.
That's a kid. Any play therapist for the first 3, 4, 5 sessions is just simply going to play with your kid because that's how kids communicate, through play. That's their language.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent and they may not have done a good job setting it up, or you may be an impatient parent, which is you, by the way, just looking at play therapy can seem insane. Because a good play therapist is going to try to learn the language of your child and learn what stories they're trying to connect to. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But you got to give that some time.
Yeah. I guess when I say it seems like a waste of time, the person kind of just sat back and watched the two of us play, and I just felt like
yes. You don't like.
I guess there was just
you didn't like being
no
judged.
Instructions
yes,
this is what we're doing today.
Yes, it's called non-directive play therapy. It's exactly what it is.
Well, nobody told me that.
Because what they're trying to do,
what are we doing here?
They are trying to see how you engage with your child. Because here's why: behavior is a language. And when your kid has an outburst, they're trying to tell you something. And it's usually, you don't see me, or I don't see you seeing me, or I have no boundaries or structure, or you spend so much time looking at a screen, I need you to see me. Or even when you're with me, you haven't dealt with your own depression or anxiety, and you are with me physically, but you are not with me spiritually, mentally. And kids, it could be 1,000 different things. That's what a play therapist does, is just trying to read the communication patterns between a parent and a child. And I don't think you liked being watched like that. It's probably unnerving. And in 5 or 10 minutes, you probably got really bored playing with your kid. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And then you wonder, if you can't spend 5 or 10 directed minutes with your child, it doesn't surprise me that your child is desperate for connection all over the place. And so what I want you to, not as a shame thing, it's just a set of skills. It's just like, dude, I don't know how to hang drywall. I've tried. It's a mess. I got to learn how to do that if I ever want to build a house. And so that's what you need, some skills. Y'all need to learn new ways to communicate. But if you don't demonstrate how you communicate, then no one can help you. If you, like a plumber can't just like stand on your front yard and be like, well, you just need to flush the toilet and fix this pipe. I got to go in there and look. And I'm just going to sit there and flush the toilet and listen and stuff like that. It's going to be weird. That's what we got to do. But my guess is, tell me I'm crazy, you are carrying some sort of shame baggage that's heavy. Or the last 24 months, which nobody's been good at, has just wrecked you. Tell me I'm wrong, if I'm wrong.
I feel like I'm ashamed of my lack of contribution.
There you go. And shame is a black hole. And kids get sucked into those things. You get sucked into those things. Marriages get sucked into black holes. You sound tired.
Yeah.
Not tired like sleepy tired, but tired, existentially exhausted. And so here's what's on the horizon for you. Number one is kindergarten. You're going to have a shift next year if you choose to put your kid in school. And so you're going to have an identity shift. You're going to have a household shift. Things are going to be different. So you may be looking at 6 more months, 7 more months before things shift again. I want you to see value in Rosie the way I see value in Rosie. And you're worth being well, and you're worth peace, and you're worth laughter, and you're worth a babysitter, and you're worth telling a 5-year-old, here's our boundaries, and you're worth learning how to play with your kid, not being annoyed by him. You're worth not being on your phone all the time. You're worth not comparing yourself to the other people's houses you go to. Who cares? Forget them. My house is messy, but my house is more fun than yours. Ha!
We have fun.
That's what I'm saying. People come to my house all the time, and I tell them, y'all are my friends. I'm not cleaning up for you, but we're gonna have the time of your life. We do clean up, relatively. Depends on who you are, but it sounds like you're in a shame comparison spiral. And I would love, Rosie, love to see you go talk to somebody and say, I'm not okay. I'm tired. And I'm ashamed of my lack of contribution. But then when I'm contributing, I'm ashamed that I'm not spending enough time with my son. I'm ashamed about how my son acts in my house. I'm ashamed that I can't play 10 minutes with my kid without getting bored and then wanting to go do something else. I want you to take an honest time assessment, Rosie, on how you're spending in front of screens and how you're spending disconnected. And I want you to be honest about learning some new skills. Your kid needs that. So here's the question that you got to ask yourself. This is all the way this is right now. And there's a period at the end of the sentence. The question you got to ask yourself is, What are you going to do tomorrow? What will be different tomorrow than today?
Are you asking me now?
Yeah.
Well,
What phone call will you make tomorrow?
tomorrow I'm going to meet with another mom who her son has developmental disabilities as well.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about it together.
Cool. So when you go meet with that mom, I want you to tell her what you told me. I'm ashamed of my lack of contribution. I don't know how to play with my kid for more than 5 minutes without getting bored. Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
I want to better engage with my kid. And chances are, when your kid feels plugged in, then your kid's brain says, now I'm safe. And your kid's brain doesn't fire off all the signals that are all over creation, that manifest themselves in all sorts of different, whatever diagnostic labels you want to stick on stuff. But almost every childhood challenge is related to connection in some shape, form, or fashion, relational connection. So people ask me like, hey, my kid's struggling with anxiety. My first thing is fix your marriage. Make sure your marriage is strong and good. The second thing is make sure you're okay, because kids absorb tension. And kids who struggle with ADHD, I'm one, generally grow up in homes that got chaos. Moms who have extreme stress, or moms who are struggling with identity challenges. Who am I? Where am I? ODDs, I mean, similar. The kids are screaming for boundaries. Help, 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 help. Show me boundaries, hold boundaries, love me. And it's hard. These aren't conversations about blame. These are conversations about tools, conversations about strategies, conversations about learning new things. And we all can learn new things. I'm trying to do it every day. I'm proud of you for calling, Rosie. I'm proud of you for loving that little boy. And I want you to start loving Rosie. Be honest for the first time with that mom tomorrow. No showing, no performances, no, just say, hey, I'm not doing okay. Start with vulnerability there. Somebody you trust. I recommend you call a counselor, maybe get back on that play therapy list and give it a shot. But start with vulnerability tomorrow. I'm proud of you, Rosie.